Today on Eagle Nation News, Madison Wells looks into a retro arcade museum in Frisco, Texas.
June Brown shines a spotlight on a hidden gem here at Prosper High School.
And finally, Madison Wells is in studio ready to give away 4 tickets for a major event. Eagle Nation News starts
right now.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Tuesday, April 23rd. I'm McKinley Bounds.
And I'm Casey Boston.
Now, Casey, video games are definitely a popular pastime.
The National Video Game Museum reminisces where video games began and how far technology has progressed.
Now we send it over to Madison Wells in Frisco, Texas with more information.
Located in the Frisco Discovery Center, the National Video Game Museum offers both kids and adults an experience to relive generations of different video games. From Space Invaders to Mario Kart, the National Video Game Museum has it all. Once you get your ticket and pass by the jaw-dropping screen and console structure, you'll be ensured to be taken back in time for some video game fun. What started as a traveling video game convention with over 50,000 games turned into what is now known as the National Video Game Museum. In 2016, John Hardy, Sean Kelly, and Joe Santalui all co-founded this incredible 18-exhibit museum in hopes to preserve and showcase the video game industry's rich history and culture.
So we grew into this traveling museum, 4 or 5 shows a year, until we finally opened this place and kind of gave it a home. So everywhere you go in the museum, you can pick something up and play it, whether it's an old computer or an old handheld Mattel football or, any of the consoles. That was real important.
This museum features multiple displays which allow its visitors to gain a lifelike experience of what the early 70s and mid-80s really looked like.
Most people love the arcade, They do love the 80s bedroom, the 80s living room, but the arcade is really, for people my generation especially, that was our social scene, bringing over 60,000 people a year to the museum, so it's been a home run. If we get the space that we want from the city or whatever for version 2, we're talking about 50,000 square feet, and it's going to be basically the Disneyland of video games.
Although this museum plans on expanding its locations, as you can see from what's around me, what stands now is pretty incredible. In Frisco, reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Madison Wells.
ISIS has claimed responsibility for the Sri Lanka bombings on Easter. They say it was a retaliation in response to the Muslims killed in New Zealand. More than 320 have been killed as a result of these attacks in Sri Lanka.
2 days ago in Watauga, Texas, a woman called the police because there was a man that she did not know inside of her home. When the police arrived, the woman was found dead. The man was shot shortly after he raised a gun at the police.
If anybody wants free tickets to the National Video Game Museum, you're in luck. Now we send it over to Madison Wells with more.
Today's Talent Talk is going to be a little different because instead of just giving you some information, today I'm going to be giving away 2 sets of 2 free tickets to the National Video Game Museum. As you saw in my report, this museum located in the Frisco Discovery Center dedicates itself to preserving the rich history video games have. From Space Invaders to Mario Kart, this place has it all. And all you have to do is comment on the ENN Twitter post to be entered into the raffle. The results of the drawing will be announced on the show Thursday, so make sure you pay attention and tweet fast if you want a chance to spend time and have decades of fun at the National Video Game Museum. Well, that's all the time I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Right after this, we'll have a quick weather update. Stay tuned.
I am Taylor Wolf. Now I finally am able to use my freedoms to show who I am. I hereby agree to be bound to you, to let you decide how I spend my money. With this contract, I relinquish part of my freedom to you.
Now we send it over to Breezy Brenna with a quick weather update.
Today's high will be 75 with a low of 61, and there will be possible storms tonight around 6 o'clock. so make sure you're somewhere indoors so you can stay dry. Tomorrow there will also be a 90% chance of rain with a high of 65 and a low of 57. Now Thursday won't be rainy, but it will have heavy winds with a high of 74 and a low of 57. So if you are a soccer player, make sure to bring your jacket to the banquet. And finally, Friday will be much prettier just in time for the weekend with a high of 79 and a low of 58. Well, that's all the time I have for you today. I'm Brenna Gibbons. Back to you guys at the desk.
From ping pong to football, there are many sports available to participate in here at Prosper High School. June Brown shines a spotlight on our Eagle archery team. Take a look.
There are many sports highlighted here at Prosper High School, but archery is not always recognized as a program.
What makes archery fun is probably like the teammates that I get to join in with. I instantly got to meet so many new people and got to have a lot of great memories.
Archery is a sport where it requires a bow and arrow, of course, and you shoot targets and you score your just points.
I think that archery is very competitive because you're up against schools who are also like very competitive as much as you are. So yeah, I think this really is competitive. I did recurve archery, which is just like a normal bow, whenever I was 12 years old, and I like got to fall in love with it. And whenever I was in wrestling, I couldn't do archery, so I had to wait a year for me to do it. So I'm really glad that I did it.
It's very competitive because you're going up against everybody of different grades and ages and just different schools. So yeah, it's a really competitive sport.
I just had to show up and show like how much I was committed into it, fill out the form, and made it here.
I have to say, make sure that you act correctly, practice hard, and have fun.
Archery is a fun sport that allows students to come together to build relationships and to have fun. Reporting from Eagle Nation News, I'm June Brown. Prosper.
There is always something happening in the Prosper world of sports, whether that is records being broken or competitions playing out. Now we send it over to Maya Peterson, who is in studio with your Game Time update.
As Casey said, this past week has been a big week in the world of Prosper sports. On Thursday, track and field competed in area and brought home many awards. Remy Gortel, Hayden Metcalf, and Kennedy Adams all broke school records. Congratulations to them. And also, we had our running events go crazy on Thursday. On the other end, we had our baseball boys play last night, and they ended up losing to Plano at Plano. But softball does play tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Princeton High School. Make sure to go out and show support for these girls as they advance to playoffs. If you want to hear more sports like this, be sure to tune into Game Time every Friday at 2 p.m. or check out our website at eaglenation.net to watch previous episodes. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Maya. Now let's take a look at the meeting schedule for the week.
Well, that's all the time that we have for you guys today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Casey Boston.
And I'm McKinley Bounds. Live long and prosper.